My name is Tyler Metzak, and I'm 22 years old. I grew up here in Ashford on our family farm. My family lives on the same street here. So I went to UConn, started in 2016. I graduated in 2019 with my associate's degree in turfgrass management, and I'll be graduating in December of 2020 with my bachelor's in ag and natural resources. For work, I started out doing landscaping, mowing lawns, and plowing snow and stuff like that, and I slowly moved to commercial construction. So now I do a lot of pipe work, road work, things like that, and I plow snow for myself in the wintertime, and then we do hay year-round. Long term, I plan on doing the site work and commercial construction as a full-time job, and then farming we really just do because we love it. We don't do it for money so much. I raced dirt bikes for many years. Started out when I was 7 years old, and I stopped when I was about 17. It was a lot of fun. Went all over New England racing. Raced with some really good riders, and me, my dad, and my brother all did it together. It was a lot of fun. We really liked it, and yeah, we grew up. My dad had a trucking company. Grew up around trucks. Always loved them. So I eventually decided to build my own and going to the fairs all through high school and middle school, watching all the truck pulls, and now I ended up pulling trucks. Sled pulling, there's a transfer sled, and then you'll have your track, and when you hook up to the sled, there's a weight box, and the weight box is all the way at the back. And as you get further down the track, that weight box moves forward, and it puts more pressure on the truck, and it gets harder and harder to pull it. When that weight box bottoms out all the way to the front, there's a pan on the bottom of the sled, and the wheels on the sled pick up, and the pan goes down, so now all the weight is just dead weight on the ground, and that'll slow you right down. It'll actually, some of them will stop you so hard you'll actually hit the steering wheel. Usually the events, when you get there, everybody says hi, and we go and we sign up. You just fill out your paperwork and write down your truck name, your sponsors, and all that, and pay your 30, 40 bucks, whatever it is, and then you usually just hang out and help your friends and help move weights around to different trucks and set tire pressures. And if someone breaks something, we're all helping to fix it. And a lot of helping to support each other, and then. When the pull time comes, parts racing and all that stuff, and you go roll over to scale, weigh in, someone tells you you're good, pull out on the track and go. So it's fun. Sled pulling isn't just hooking up and going a lot of times. I mean, we mess with everything from tire pressures to how high the rear end is and how high the front end is, and soft versus harder suspension, and all kinds of bracing and limiting the suspension in certain ways, but within the rules, as well as gear ratios and hitch heights, and there's weights and depending on the class, it varies so much what you can do. It's actually very specific. There's a lot of science that goes into it. A lot of redneck engineering. Yeah, so my parents thought it was super cool. They love coming to all the pulls and helping me get the truck ready and everything else. My dad's always taking videos, and we're always looking to see like how the suspension's sitting and how the wheel speed was, and if the truck wasn't making RPMs, and we're always tweaking and changing and doing little things to get that little bit more out of the truck, make it that much more competitive. So it's a lot of fun. We all really like it. It's a family affair, if anything. My brother's my crew chief, so he comes to all the pulls with me and helps me get the truck on and off, and set up all the tires and everything else for all the pulls. So definitely a family affair.
I guess his tires are
So track quality, usually it depends on what truck you have and what you're running for power, tires, etc., as to which kind of track you prefer. For me, I like soft tracks. My truck doesn't have a ton of power, so when I get in a soft track and I can get a little bit more wheel speed, I do a lot better. But for the trucks that make big horsepower, that are really powerful, they want hard tracks because they can grab and they can go. So it's really preference, and you want the tracks to be as smooth as possible. There's some tracks that will go on that are just bumpy, and you'll find rocks in them, and those are the ones people break stuff on. You get into that little hop motion going, and that's when it starts getting expensive. So for this truck right now, I have a few small changes I want to make with tires and possibly gear ratios, and just getting the truck running a little better. It needs to be put on a dyno, and the AFRs monitored, and really get that carburetor tuned in. But Beyond that, that's probably as far as this truck will go. If I'm going to stick with it, I'll probably end up building another one that's a little bit more suited for the sport. This truck's a little too light, a little too short, so just a bad base to start with for pulling.
Ran out of power.
Best day pulling would probably be the Durham Fair last year, the fall 2019. I had a really good pull. It was really cool, sunset in the background and pulling in front of that big hill with 150 people or whatever sitting on the hill watching. So that was a really cool experience. As far as sled pulling goes, I mean, if you get in touch with a local club or someone that does it online or whatever, everyone's always really welcoming. I mean, they're always looking for new people to get into the sport. You do a little bit of research, put some weight in the back of the truck, and let some air out of the tires and drive it to the track. It's not hard to get in at all.